Mr. Ramanathan, born to a banker Mr. Sulayapan, is a native of Parlathur. Having spent his childhood in Tiruvayaru, Tanjore district, he is today a permanent resident of Singapore. His entrepreneurial journey began when he left India and came to Singapore for higher studies. The zest to achieve greater things in life led him to starting a scrap steel export business by the name Feccuni Singapore Private Limited. Today, Feccuni has successfully expanded its base, and imports finished goods like pipes and flanges to Singapore from European nations. His passion to do more made him set his foot in the kids' toys and gifts industry. He set up his shop Three Little Kids and a Wolf, which has 3 outlets at present. He also took up a franchise from a Japanese child care activity company Human. His wife Mrs. Meenakshi heads this franchise. His 4th venture is a click art museum, that he started with his cousin Mr. A.P. Sridhar in India. His curiosity in this field drove him to start another related business venture in Singapore. Vintage Camera Museum is one of the most popular and sought-after tourist attractions in Singapore. Mr. Ramanathan is elated to share that his Vintage Camera Museum is one of a kind in the world, till the date.
It all started from the day when my father passed me his old cameras, He got interest towards photography. So he said, okay, you want to continue photography, you want to take something, you can have it as my present. And that's the day I started. One of my cousin, he was an artist. The day once camera come in, all the painter who do realistic picture, the portrait picture, everybody lost their job. So based on his profession, cameras are their enemies. Then I said, okay, why don't we do something new? We accumulate all your enemies, put it at one place, and we do it in a unique way what others have not done it. Then he said, it's on, let's try, and that's how all it started.
Feccuni Singapore has been bestowed upon the honor of being amongst the 1,000 emerging companies in Singapore. Mr. Ramanathan has been awarded as the best entrepreneur in the year 2015-16. He was covered by more than 10 magazines in Singapore for his zealous business enterprise, the Vintage Camera Museum. It clicked well and attracted many more footfalls. According to him, an entrepreneur needs to be fast as well as wise in decision making. He elaborated on this by explaining a case, wherein they chose to forward hedge US currency to avoid currency conversion loss during cross-country transactions. His approach is unique and smart as he strives to find the edge and gap in a transaction. An example of this is that he was the first to explore free trade agreement between certain South Asian countries, which was followed by other traders later. He believes in balancing profitability and scalability at exactly 50-50, and so, he is in no hurry to make bigger things in a limited time. His tip for entrepreneurs in the field of HR is pretty simple. It is to filter trustworthy persons and groom them properly. The rest is to simply be patient till they settle down. His prime tip for finance is to never go overboard with spending and be extremely cost conscious. Lastly, his general advice to every entrepreneur is not to haste and think about the business decisions about to be undertaken carefully, even 100 times if required. However, once it is decided and thought through, you must give your 100% to it. Mr. Ramanathan's way of energizing and revitalizing himself is very simple. He believes in spending quality and precious time with his family. His greatest inspiration is his grandfather, as he explains that despite having zero technology and infrastructure, our forefathers achieved a lot. As a successful entrepreneur, his ideology in life is that work until you no longer have to introduce yourself. IBCN wishes him all the very best.